Hello, today I'm going to be teaching you about quadratic formula. Quadratic formula uses the formula with the standard form standard form is some expression is equals to 0. In other words, equals to 0 is on the right and everything else is on the left. An example on how to turn an equation to a standard form is, for example, x squared is equals to 7. You will need to transpose, so it will become x squared minus 7, and then you need to add equals 0. So now we are going to solve our equation with the quadratic formula. This is going to be our first problem. It's already in standard form, so you don't need to convert it. First what we're going to do is we're going to find the values of the numbers. So the value of a is 1 because this is x. So and the value of b is 3, and the value of c is 10. But the values also need to have their signs. So since our b and c has negative, we need to put -2. Now we got our values. Solving it is pretty straightforward. We just need to use the formula. Once again, our formula is x is equals to -b plus minus b squared minus 4ac is over 2a. Now all you have to do is substitute our values into the quadratic formula. So our a over these two will become 1, our b will become -3, and our c will become -10. So take note of our formula and our values. This isn't actually negative. I just put it by mistake, but this won't ever be negative because there's no negative on our formula. The a can be negative, but it depends on the equation. Next we're going to do is bring down our -b, which is -3. But when we bring it down, the 3 will become positive. So we still have the plus minus. Next thing we need to do is solve this. So basically it's just the square of 3, which is 9, plus next is this one, 4 times 1 and 10, which is 40. Next is this, the 2 times 1, which is 2. Now basically you just have to add this. So 9 plus 40 is 49. I still have to copy this. Over 2. Next is you're going to find the square root of 49, which is 7. R3 and R7, which we got from the square root 49, we join together along with 2. So the next we're just gonna find our x of 1 and our x of 2, which is basically the x of 1 is just the 3 plus 7, and x of 2 is the 3 minus 7. So first our x of 1 is equals to 3 plus 7 over 2. So now we're just going to add this and then add the answer, then divide from the 2. So it would become 5. Then our x of 2 is basically the same, except this time we're going to subtract, but we're still going to divide. So 3 minus 7 divided by 2 is negative 2. So these two are answers, 5 and negative 2, x of 1, x of 2 respectively. We will going to have another example, which is this quadratic equation is absolutely not in the form that we want, because the right side is not 0. We need to eliminate that 7 on the right side by subtracting both sides by 7. That takes care of our problem. After doing so, solve for x as usual. This is the form that we want. You get 2 because after subtracting both 7s, 1 7 would remain and we minus that from 5. So once again, just take note of the formula. So our solution would be bring that down. So square root of 1 is still 1. So 4 times 3 times negative 2 is 24. Now we will need to multiply this, so it will become 6. So 1 plus 24 is 25. So over 6. Now the square root of 25 is 5. Over 6. Now we're going to get the x of 1. This is our answer. 1 plus 5 is 6. Then we divide, then we become 1. Now the x of 2. Now it will be minus, still over 6 is equals to negative 4. 6 divide that and you get so these two are our final answer. So our next problem will be now this quadratic equation looks like a mess. I have variable x and constants on both sides of the equation. If we are faced with something like this, always stick to what we know. Yes, it's all about the standard form. We have to force the right side to be equal to 0. We can do that in just 2 steps. We will first subtract both sides by 5x and follow by the addition of 8. It should come out as this is what we want. So our values a is equals to negative 1, b is equals to negative 8, and c is equals to 2. Once again, just substitute the values in the formula. (64 plus 8 is 72 over negative 2 . So the square root 72 is 36.2. So now this would become 6 because the square root of 36 is 6. The 2, this one will the square root it. Now we need to find the x of 1. The answer is negative 4, negative 3, square root of 2. Now the x of 2. Sorry. 6 is negative. The answer is negative 4 plus 3 is 2. Right, next we're going to do is something like this. Well, if you think our previous example was messy, this is even messier. However, you soon realize that they really are similar. We first need to perform some cleanup by converting this quadratic equation to standard form. Sound familiar? Trust me, this probably not as bad as it looks. As long as we know what to do. Since we have 3 terms on the right side, it follows that 3 steps are required to make it 0. The solution below starts by adding both sides by 3x squared, followed by subtraction of 3x, and finally the addition of 5. First, we get this because we subtract this. 11 minus 3 become 8. Now this, we cancel both 3. So, the 3x and 5 would remain. Then after that, we add 3x here and here. And after that, we get 4 because we add 3 and x. It becomes 4. Then, this will become 5 because we cancel both 3. After this, we add 5 here, and then over here. So then it will become our standard forms. This is our values. The square root of 4, square root of 4 is 16. Then we get 160 over negative 16. When you add this, it becomes 176 over negative 16. This will become 16, 11, so over negative 16. Then it will become 11, then still over negative 16. Then we'll have to find the x of 1. So we would get this is our x of 1, this is 4 actually, our x of 2 The answer would be 1. So these two are final answers. Our last example will be x squared plus 5x minus 14 equals to 0. So you don't need to convert it to standard form because it's already standard form. Our a is 1, our b is 5, our c is negative 14. Once again, this is a formula. And just substitute the values. Once we solve this would become it. The answer, when you add this, will become 81 over 2. Now, you just have to find the x of 1. We would subtract this because it's negative positive, so we have 4 and 2. So make it a habit to always check the solved values of x. So this would become actually 2. Now x of 2 negative. This would become negative 14. The answer would be negative 7. So these two are answers.